And if you love motorcycles but live for innovation, you're in the right place. Welcome to Garage Talk with Dale. Watch as he crafts a one-of-a-kind camless hydraulic engine and breathes new life into a classic BSA Gold Star motorcycle. Stay tuned for tales from Dale's racing history, pro tips, and hands-on mechanics. Hit subscribe and join him on his journey. This is Garage Talk with Dale.
You've got to take your time. There's loads and loads of things you've got to be careful with. I've broke a couple of wiring clips, which is not a major. They're all right. I can sort them out. As you can see, there's a just down there, that water pipe there. I've broke that. Unfortunately, to gain it off, it's apparently they go hard with time, and obviously 10-year-old. Anyway, it's broke that off, but to be fair, it only a tenner for a new one, so there you go. That weren't a problem, thank goodness. And this is it. It's stripped. Now, if you look on the top of the cams, you can see where I've made my locking bracket. I pinned the crank first, obviously, because the crank has got the timing on it, and it's got to go back on that same pin. So I thought, well, I'll start and time it with that pin. So I rotated the crank round till I got the pinhole. I sorted a drill size out. It's absolutely perfect pinhole, so I pinned that, and then obviously then you've got to lock everything up. So I've made a bracket, and as you can see, there's like a couple of spanners on a plate bolted down, and it's all bolted together, so that's fixed bang on. That ain't moved at all. I've marked the pulleys anyway. You can see a couple of marks on top. So I've made that bracket. I'll keep moving around a little bit so you can see it. And that's basically where we are. There's squares on the cams, so once you've made like spanner fitments for the cams, and then you can lock the plates off so they don't move, and that's my bracket for that. Anyway, so that's what we've finished up doing for cams, which I thought were good enough, and they hadn't shifted. You can see a couple of marks on things. I've marked the belt. The belt are in good condition, actually. I was pleased with that. The oil pump belt was perfect, but obviously we're going to change and put new on. I have been bought proper Ford parts for this. I'm going to put new spark plugs in, new filters, new oil and everything. The total bill was £650 for the parts. Sounds a lot, but at least you've got peace of mind that everything's going to be right. Anyway, I want it right. It's my own car, so that's my fix in there. Problems to get somebody's already had the manifold off, and you can see the exhaust manifold. You've got to get that off really to get it to your sump. I have seen them cut the pipes and mess about, but I thought I'd take it off properly. But somebody had already had it off, and they'd cut the manifold anyway, which is not a problem. I'll just put a bolt in that. I'm not bothered about that. But the turbo's fine. The oil filters was absolutely spot on. The strainers in the sump. I've got the little filter to do it on the timing cover crankcase. I've got to just clean that out. Apparently they get a problem. That's the turbo feed for the oil, so that needs cleaning out. Although bottom strainer were clean, I expect that one to be okay. Vacuum pump, I'm not going to touch that until I put all stuff back together as I've took off, because vacuum pump's a separate item, so because I've got that many parts now. You can see the belts, and looking at the belt, it's the oil belt. You see a few hairs on it. I mean, they're obviously going to come off and get trapped in filter anyway. But basically, this is absolutely bang on for a 10-year-old car anyway, in my opinion. The cam belt's got a few cracks in it, but you know, I again, for 10-year-old, and the teeth are perfect, obviously, because it's never been changed. It's got the original belt on it. these are the parts I've had to take off. We've put them in a sort of system, laid them on the floor just to make sure I've got them off and they'll go back on as I've took them off. So that's the top end. I'm going to get down on the floor now and basically show you the crank thing. Now you might hear me groaning and grunting a bit, but here we go. We're underneath. I've had the strainer out and that's perfectly clean. Now you can see my bracket I've made to hold the crank. Like I made these fixings before I took the pulley off. So I've made the fixings, fixed it solid, which I was pleased about. On this piece here, I've made a round piece that fits into the actual, into the bell housing. There's a little round portion there, you can just see it. But then it goes up here and then there's teeth on it that goes into the flywheel teeth there. So I've just plenty of time I'm retired, so I've just made that tool up, welded it and brazed it to this plate. Then I've fixed the plate on. I've done the holes after, so I've not moved the flywheel at all, because obviously you don't move it because the peg at the front puts it all right in timing, so you mustn't move anything. So I've clamped it solid, and I think that's good enough for you to see, and it's certainly strong enough. I didn't want to take the starter motor out and clamp it there. I couldn't see it point myself. When you can clamp it a lot better off the crankcase bottom when the sump's off, and you've got to take sump off anyway, so might as well come off there. So I ain't disturbed any of the back. I've not took the steering off at all. There's no need to do that, so I've not interrupted anything there. The pump is fine. The pump is working really well, as it should do, but there was no debris in, I keep saying it, there's no debris in that filter. I took it out and cleaned it, but there were probably, I don't know, 12 little tiny dots of black rest on it. If there has any rubbish, it would have gone into the filter. But we've got to do this it's just there, so we've got to take it out and clean that out. I ain't done that yet, so we're going to clean that filter out. I don't think there'll be anything here, I'm hoping not, but I'll tell you on the next video whether there was or not. And that's where we're going to at the minute. Like I say, I have bought all new parts. Sorry about that grunting, I can't help it, it's just old age. But anyway, this is where we've got to at the minute. So everything I'm happy with. We've bought new seals. I bought the clamping washer. I haven't bought a new bolt. I think a stretch bolt, once it's been stretched, will go back in its right place. But I haven't got the facility to put a new stretch bolt in and then re-stretch it as it's supposed to be. So touch wood, I'll get that right. I'm going to gamble on that one, but that's everybody's preference, how they're going to do that. But apart from that, I've enjoyed the project. Like I say, the parts are a little bit expensive, but they're genuine tattle, so, you know, come on, we've got to get it right. So there you go. So I'm going to put it together. There's no need to show video on how I'm putting it together, because I take my time with that anyway. So we'll clean every bit. We'll take the pulleys off. We'll dry the pulleys out so there's no oil on them at all. So when I do clamp them up, they're not going to move on oil. And yeah, we'll just nice and systematically put it back together. I've got the proper Ford glue for the casing. Yeah, I'm just enjoying putting it together. My son's come over from America, so it's got to be back together for next Friday, because I've got to take him back to airport. So there we go. So I'm going to leave you with that one, and we will talk a bit later on, and thank you for watching.